Racism.
Who started racism? Yo, facts, I also want to know who started racism.
It's this very bad thing, and most people see it as a modern invention. But low-key, you can make the argument that it existed a while back. Like in good old ancient Egypt, where Egyptians often portrayed themselves as the ideal humans, good-looking, elegant, and well-groomed. Meanwhile, their neighbors were drawn in stereotypical ways. This wasn't just an artistic choice, it was intentional.
Because I liked it, and I loved it.
Nubians, or Kushites, who were shown with exaggerated lips and wearing animal skins, which made them look more primitive. In contrast, the Egyptians dressed in fine linen, and the Asiatics, i.e. Canaanites and Hyksos, were often drawn with big noses, big beards, and disheveled clothing.
I'll be crying if I look like that too, bro. That's fucked up what they be doing to y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I be saying that.
Reinforcing an image of them as uncultured. The Libyans did not escape this racism. They were depicted with wild hair and tattoos, looking chaotic compared to the sleek, orderly Egyptians. Now, before the ancient Egyptians get cancelled, I want to point out that the table did turn when the Persians came to the equation. So basically, for a quick context, the Persians were hungry for some land and wanted Egypt. And by the way, Persia had already conquered a huge chunk of the ancient world. Mesopotamia, parts of Central Asia, and even parts of India at that time. And the Persian ruler, Cambyses II, son of the famous Cyrus the Great, knew that the Egyptians really liked cats. Maybe a little too much. Or in other words, they worshipped them. For example, killing a cat, even by accident, was punishable by death. So the Persians sent some cat to the Egyptians as a sign of tolerance, peace, and coexistence. Of course not! But wait, it gets better. Or worse, depending on the perspective. Both armies met in 525 BC. The racist Persians painted images of cats and other sacred animals like ibises on their shields. And the poor Egyptian soldier, seeing their beloved animals on enemy shields, hesitated to attack. Cambyses started to smile menacingly.
I am about to get racist.
As he ordered his soldiers to carry live cats in front of them as they advanced toward the Egyptian lines and released the cats onto the battlefield, knowing that Egyptians wouldn't dare harm them. The Egyptians, terrified of harming the sacred cats, hesitated again and refused to fight properly. The Persians slaughtered them, taking advantage of their hesitation. Pelusium fell and Egypt was conquered. And obviously, it wasn't just Egyptians or Persians. The idea of being superior over other people is found in almost every civilization. Famously, the ancient Greeks called anyone non-Greek a barbarian, believing they were uncivilized and inferior. Herodotus described non-Greeks, like the Persians, as having strange customs, portraying them as inferior, despite some admiration for their military prowess. And he described the Scythians as crude because they did not follow the Greek ideal of a settled urban society. Aristotle went a step further and argued that some people, especially non-Greeks, were naturally suited to be slaves.
What?